we were talking about depression, right? At the minute, and I'm gonna get back to what you did, or the last bit that you mentioned. At the minute you understood you were going through depression, your first step was with your little one. Helping him has helped you as well. And then you continue to kind of do your research, isn't it? And then what happened?
So it was all about developing my self-esteem.
Yeah.
I said earlier, I had really low self-esteem.
Yeah.
So my self-talk was always negative.
Right.
So when I went into depression, it didn't change, it just escalated, it got worse.
Right.
So
How do you notice it went worse? What happened?
well, it wasn't until I hit rock bottom. So I hit rock bottom
Right.
twice.
Right.
So I hit it in the July of 2015 and then again the thought in the October of 2015.
Yeah, but what happened that made you feel that it went from okay to worse? Any
Yeah,
thing
well, the straw that broke the camel's back in the July was we'd gone on holidays and they'd cancelled our holidays and not told us.
All
So
right.
we'd driven to France.
Yeah.
So we'd driven to one part, slept over and driven again for 10 hours.
Oh my, that doesn't help either.
No, that was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, okay.
I was more aware on that day and in that holiday
Yeah.
of how I was thinking and feeling.
Yeah,
For the kind of the first time really, it was clear
yeah,
and I knew that I needed to get help, but I wasn't ready at that point. So I
Yeah.
did it again. I hit rock
not
bottom
asking
again.
for help, you know.
It's not in my.
No, it's not in your book.
So just all the kind of what I needed to understand about myself was why I had the low self-esteem. So low self-esteem really feeds into depression.
Yeah, it does.
So the self-talk was a massive part of it because it became not just that it was a negative self-talk, it became critical, it became judgmental, it became harsh.
Yeah.
It was just, I was punishing myself all the time. And that was my life. Every single day I was punishing myself for something I was doing wrong. Or so I thought.
Yeah.
I felt like I was failing. I thought I was failing as a mum, as a person, as a partner, as a wife. So all those thoughts just were constantly bombarding me.
Yeah.
Those self-talk I would never speak to anybody like that. But
You
I
were
spoke
in
to
a
myself
constant
like that.
battle, is
Yes.
it?
In my head. It was a horrible place to live. But it's that kind of stuff I needed to understand to stop it. I needed to find a way to disrupt those patterns because it just become patterns. They
Yeah.
become habits and patterns,
Yeah.
which we don't really think about. Once
Yeah.
they've settled in as a habit or a pattern, we lose sight of it.
Yeah, we think
do
it's
it.
something normal, and we just get normalized amongst the hurt, the pain, the depression, and we
it
think
was
it's normal. Yeah.
And it was not nice. So it was that kind of thing I wanted to target. And
Right.
I'd been working on myself for 2006, so I was at 9 years.
Right.
So I'd been doing self-development, but clearly not enough.
Nothing. Yeah.
This was an in-depth. Like there were days where it was just about understanding myself,
Yeah.
but it would be sometimes 2 steps forward, 10 steps back.
Yeah. So it wasn't any progression, is it?
There was progression because I was taking the next step. Regardless of how far back I'd been knocked, I would take the next step.
Right.
So I never thought I'm not going anywhere. And that's when I realised that. I never thought I'm stuck here.
Right.
I just, whatever happened today, I took the next step. That's the important thing, whether it's a baby step or a giant step. I just took it.
Yeah.
I had to. Because my 2 options were leave my kids or do something about them.
As a good mom,
Always there.
Yeah.
Leave my kids or do something about this. So every day, regardless of how hard it was, and it was hard to get up, it was hard to, I didn't want a parent either. It was hard, but I took the next step. I did the next learning. I learned the next thing about myself. I understood the next thing about myself. And it's not about knowing. Now, this is the mistake people make. People will say to me, I know myself. Yes, you do.
Of course you do.
Understand yourself. That's the key that generally is missing because we don't understand ourselves. So if you think about driving a car, so we drive a car, we know how the engine works, we know we turn the engine on, that lights up everything, it turns the wheels, the steering wheel helps all that. So we know all of those things. We know the components like we do ourselves.
Yeah.
But if the car were to break down, could you fix it?
Yeah, that's the thing, no.
we're the same. I didn't know enough about myself to be able to fix myself. And I thought I was broken at the time. I don't believe it is that we're broken. I just think we don't know enough about ourselves and all those skills we need to understand to be able to change the things we need to change.
Yeah.
So it was all about knowing and understanding that deeper level, and then the emotional processing, expressing, releasing was the key.
Then would you say that love was one of your ways of getting to understand love and kindness, or getting to understand yourself more, as in loving yourself, loving the nature of Hayley Wheeler, and then from there you will be with kindness applying all the knowledge that you were getting?
I'm going to say it wasn't something I thought about. So love is a relatively new concept to me, believe it or not.
Right.
Okay, so for me it was about acceptance.
Yeah.
Accepting this is where I'm at, this is who I am at this moment in time. But if I want to change things, I can. So I empowered myself by accepting that this was how it was, with the accountability of, right, whatever there is to change, I'm going to change it. It's my job to change it. So love really didn't come into it until love is a really new skill for me. And I'm talking months.
Yeah. Well, but if you are on the loop, you know, because you are saying it's a really relative new type of skills for you. Because acceptance is one of the skills of love. And because if you accept even somebody else's point of view, it's because you have a deeper level of understanding. And the understanding comes by knowing, and the knowing comes by just accepting, and the accepting, the understanding, knowing, but then the acceptance as well. And if you see, I'm doing like a loop amongst the words, the same words. But then acceptance only comes when you have love enough to let go of yourself or what you think is gonna be the right ways, and just accept what is coming.
Yeah, and I've been in love. I love my children. So all those things were true. But depression took everything away from me.
And numbed you.
There was no love, there was no excitement, there was no passion. But equally, what I've learned, and I'm literally talking 3 months of being conscious in love and appreciating and using love in my life. I'm 48. You would think I would have...
You don't look like that 48. I'm sure people will tell you, like, what? You're nearly 50.
I am nearly 50. But I didn't learn that skill until recently. And you know, I've been emotionally rewriting my history.
Right.
And that has been fascinating. So even though I've done all that deep-rooted work with the depression, it was amazing. I have new skills now again. This rewriting the emotional history has been just eye-opening.
Right.
Because whereas I've lived in fear of being hurt, and I've lived in pain and anger and frustration for a long time, I don't feel like that anymore.
Right.
Love has replaced that. And that whereas people have hurt me, I have love and empathy for them in a way that I never knew how before. And I'm talking 48 years of not knowing how to...
Yeah, because you said that you were numbed, and that numbness carried on, and you thought it was normal, and then you just accepted it, isn't it?
But anger is an easier emotion to feel, and a socially acceptable emotion to feel. So we feel anger and allow ourselves to feel anger. But nobody teaches you how to love. We talk.
No, definitely.
This thing about, we talk about love, happiness, living, successful, all these concepts, right? Nobody tells you what they actually mean.
No, really. They are concepts, isn't it? They talk about it, but nobody tell you in depth how that feels or what you need to do to feel X, Y, Z. Hayley, the time has flown away. I told you, like, it just flies. It's just when you're having fun, things just fly. So in this minute, I want you to tell or to share with the audience what will be one of the things you will do if you were going through again depression. As if they were going through depression, what would you suggest them to do as a life coach? in these ways, as in to get out of depression?
It's investing in yourself. It really is. That investment in becoming aware of who you are, how the depression is affecting you, and what you can do about it. There's your investment. And if you need support with that, then find somebody who's going to help you with that. But what people tend to do is go and find the skills external.
Yeah.
Let me go and find somebody else who can do it for me. You can't.
Yeah.
You have to do it yourself. But until you learn who you are, then that is a hard thing to do. But when you decide you are the most important person in your life, depression, beyond, or anything else, then it changes your perception.
Thank you very much for that insight. I think they are wise words, and it is your intention who will take you to the next step. Thank you very much, Hayley, for being here with us. I truly appreciate you. I appreciate your time. If people want to contact you, how do they do it?
They can find me on any social media platform as Hayley T. Wheeler, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I'm even on Pinterest, TikTok, or they can find me on email at hayley@hayleytwheeler.co.uk.
Awesome. Thank you very much for being here with us, Hayley.